we have Melissa DeLaCruz, the gel queen here, and she is going to do us a really big favor. We recently did an extended smile line with acrylic, but people were asking, how do you do it in gel? So she's going to show us today. Thank you, Mel.
You're welcome. Looking forward to it. Today I'm going to show you how to do a deep smile line with our precision gel applicators. I'm going to start with my magic wand, pushing back the cuticle area. I'm going to use my arbor band to prep her natural nail. I like to start around the cuticle area first and then tickling through the rest of the nail. Just light pressure. Dust off the dust and go into swipe. Make sure the nail is entirely dry, kind of a chalky look, before you protein bond. One coat. Usually you go through all 10. If you're just doing one nail for some reason, wait a few seconds and then add your second. I like to put my tab in the back, pre-pinch it.
Can I ask why you like to put the tab in the back?
It makes it a little stronger so it doesn't buckle in the middle. Not as flimsy, not a flimsy form without it. You don't have to do it. I just kind of like how it holds its shape. I'm going to start with clear Sculptor. I like to get my gel in front of my brush, and then that way I can maneuver it where I need to. If it's behind the brush, it's not going to move so well. Now here it doesn't matter because I'm just bringing it out for the length I want. Let's go about that length right there. I'm going to wipe my brush. I like to wipe it on a tile. So now I'm going to cure this for 30 seconds. Now I'm going to use my base gel, and I'm going to base it from cuticle to free edge.
Why? Well, first, two parts. Does it matter if you base and then sculpt? And why do you prefer to sculpt and then base?
Okay, it doesn't matter what you do first, really. The reason why I do it this way is I don't like to do things twice, basically. Meaning, if I do my base first and then my Sculptor, I don't know if it's adhering to it. If I butt up my clear Sculptor to her natural nail, cure it, then bring base from cuticle to free edge, it's going to anchor onto everything and ensure that it's all going to stay all in one piece when I try to take off the thorn. So once you have it, you go under the light for 30 seconds. And now I'm going to remove the form by squeezing the middle and popping it underneath.
So it's not like ripping it off if you have a whole acrylic nail on there, right?
You have to be a little more gentle because there's no strength there or thickness. Let's use concealer blush. So what I do is I squeeze out my product first. And again, I still kind of have the gel in front of me. I apply it kind of the same way I would my brush, but if you notice, my applicator is more straight up and down. It's easier for me to use it that way because I could see. I quit squeezing at this point and kind of come in a V. Squeeze in the middle. Don't squeeze on the sides. Squeeze in the middle. Don't squeeze on the side. I find when you squeeze on the side, for me, it tends to flood my cuticle more. But if you start coming out at a V, you could see how far you want to extend the nail. So right here, I'll kind of do it a little deeper. I'll trail it to the other side, and I move a little slower when I'm finishing it up. So what I'm doing is I built her extension out first. So it'll allow me to extend her nail bed. If I wouldn't have built out her extension first, it would only be more like her natural nail. It wouldn't have that long extended look that it's gonna have now. Okay, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect. You want to get it as close as you can to the spot, the area that you want it to be. So I'm going to show you a little trick that I do. Okay, I'm going to have her go under the light for 1 minute. Now, if I was doing a full set, I'm just showing you one right now, so I'm curing it a full minute. If I was doing a full set, I would put like 30 seconds at least, do the other hand, and keep rotating my hands. Being that I'm doing one, I have to fully cure it before I do anything to it. Now that she's came out of the light, I'm going to use a 150 grit file with the corners not seasoned. What I'm going to do is bring in my sides a little more so it tightens it up and makes it look a little longer. I'm going to look at it straight down. You have to make sure you can see the whole nail as you're filing. So I'm going to file more on this side. Make sure you anchor your fingers on the other side because you are putting slight pressure. Don't put pressure downward or you'll break your free edge, your extension. Come into the other side, and I'm going to leave all this dust pattern, and I'm going to show you what to do with it when I'm done. But the reason why I like to leave the dust pattern is I could see exactly where I stop and start. If this side's higher, I'll have more of a dust pattern that's higher on one side. So it's kind of a guide for me. So now that I kind of have the pattern in, I'm going to put a little more pressure and bring it a little more narrow in.
And you did not remove the sticky layer.
No, I'm leaving it on there. You have to leave it on. It looks like I'm really messing it up, but I'm going to show you a trick I do. And I do it all the time, so I promise you it works. I like to look at it from this view. And the reason being, I want to make sure it's straight. So it is pretty straight. The side's needs a little more. Now I do charge a little more for this because it does take a little more time than just a natural pink and white set. What I do from here is I take my tile, my brush, and some base. A little bit of base on here. Wipe most of it off. Wipe it here. See how I have it on my brush? Now let me get a little swipe pad with just a tad bit of swipe. I wipe it off. Now I'll go through here, all around my smile. So it's loaded on both sides. Wipe it off. Wipe off a little more. Let me get a little more base. It is an extra step, but when you want it to go really deep, it's worth it to get that, like all of them to be even with each other. So from here, once I have all of my dust off, I rebase my free edge. Now, look at how much I put on there. It's not a whole lot. It's a very little. So I'm going to touch here, go around my smile line and bring it through. So what this is doing is it's ensuring that it's going to be sticky again for my next layer to stick on. Go under for 30 seconds to light. So now I'm going to use rose quartz. So what I'm going to do when I apply it is I'm going to make sure it's really thin. I don't want to bring it up as high as her pink is. I'm going to cap that with clear Sculptor after. But I will make sure I get up as high right here, but ramp it down. So you'll see what I'm talking about. I'll start right here. You notice it's a little more stiff to work with. It's because it has a lot of glitter in it. I like that it's stiffer because it doesn't run everywhere and you could do more nails at once before you go under the light again. So make sure you cover all of your clear. You could actually see your smile line coming into play. I'll show you it right now. Put a little more at the smile line. You notice I trail it a little, meaning you can see the little trail following my applicator. You can use your brush here if you wanted. Like if you wanted to bring it in more to your smile line here, you could swipe this direction. With the glitter, like if I'm doing a pink and white with this, I usually don't bring out my brush. But with the glitter, I kind of like to define it a little more. Now you'll go under for 30 seconds. Let's just say that I got glitter on top of her pink right here before she cured it. It would be totally fine because your smile line's already in there. So I just wanted to clarify that. When you first start, you may get some on your smile. It's fine. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is use clear Sculptor. I love using the tubes because it goes so fast when you encapsulate. it's dripping, you could get a little off. Now I'm going to cure it for 60 seconds once you're done with your application. So as you can see, the process looks a little bulky, no big deal. It's very easy to file. I'm going to use swipe, take off my sticky residue, and file. It's all filed and finished. I'm ready to top coat. I'm going to protein bond the entire nail.
A question.
Yes.
Why do you protein bond?
Well, it's a preference. I could go straight into top coat, but the reason why I protein bond first is 2 reasons. It ensures that it's going to stay on, which I know it will because there's at least a 150 grit on there, but it hides all the scratches. If there's any scratches, it kind of makes it look more like glass with my top coat, so that's why I do it. Ooh, this is pretty. Got a lip balm skin. And under for 60 seconds. Now I'm going to swipe. Swipe off all that sticky. And of course use rose oil. It's my favorite retail item. And my favorite item I use on myself.
Hey guys, what's going on? We hope you love our videos. Let us know in the comments below what you want to see next. To see more, head over here. To subscribe to our channel, head over here.